Alright, hello. If you've been watching my last few videos, you've seen I just changed my R5 2600 for 5600, and it ran a little bit hotter than my 2600, but nothing too much. But I noticed it boosts much higher than the 2600. The 5600 boosts up to 4.4 gigahertz, and that's a lot more than the 2600. And I don't even like hearing my fans spin up for the fan curve to try to keep up with CPU temperatures and stuff. The only thing that's spinning up right now is my graphics card fans right now. But so I was just looking at different ways people kept their Zen 3 processors or their Vermeer processors temperatures in check. And I came across, because I'm not changing my simple 120 millimeter tower cooler. I'm not getting an AIO. I don't want that. If you've watched my channel, I'm not interested in super speeds. I want enough speed, but I want my computer to be super quiet, low maintenance, doesn't collect a lot of dust. Just like totally reliable, whether it's 90 degrees in a room or 50 degrees in a room, whatever. So I was looking at different videos on YouTube. I was just curious how other people went about taming the temperatures on that. And I came across this video, and a lot of people are thankful. Hey, this really helped me lower my temperatures. But I'm gonna, and I'm not bad mouthing this guy, because basically the video does what everybody wanted. They were searching for a way to make the temperatures go down, and this video accomplishes that. But I think the way this guy is accomplishing it, going about it, is totally wrong. So basically he's showing here, he's got the, he's playing his game, and it's at 75 Celsius. That's a little hot for him. Maybe he doesn't want it that hot for whatever reason. I don't know if he just doesn't like the temperature, or he's like me, where he doesn't like his fan spinning up. But he goes on to tell everybody to
around 74, 75 degrees.
Fast forward to the part where he's actually making changes.
Into the testing, will it affect to the F?
So he's in the BIOS right now, and he just disabled Precision Boost Override. Precision Boost Override is not just used to throw more power at your CPU. You can also use Precision Boost Override to attenuate power to your CPU. So it's an important tool to accomplish what he wants to do, but he's disabling it, which is fine. That's like an easy way to, bring the temperatures down. Let me continue.
Yes.
So he's disabling Precision Boot Overdrive.
The first one.
And let's see what he moves on to next. A little bit of lag. Move around a little bit. There we go.
Sorry, I have to look at the screen and the camera at the same time, so I cannot read it clearly. Okay, so I will just turn this one off, disable.
So now he's disabling the core performance boost. If you disable the core performance boost, your CPU is not going to hit its boost clocks. It's not going to boost at all. I'm pretty sure if you turn that off, your computer's going to run at the base clock and stay at the base clock. I'm pretty sure not just in gaming, everything you do, there will be no boost to the cores. They won't run over their base clock. So basically, you're nerfing your CPU really hard. If you wanted to have a lower speed CPU, you should have just bought a lower SKU, right? SKU, whatever you want to call it. A lower model, something a little slower. So let's see. One thing I like about when I was looking at this video, I like that there's a summary of changes with this Gigabyte BIOS. Let me show you.
Okay, and that's it. Only two testing. Core performance boost.
There we go.
You see.
So he's got his changes on the screen here. It says last modified. Precision Boost Auto precision boost overdrive, he changed it from auto to disabled. Remember, precision boost PBO lets you control, not just add more power to your CPU, lets you control how much power you want to. You can even lower it. For example, if you have, I don't use Ryzen Master a lot. In fact, I hardly ever use it. I do everything in the BIOS, but let me run Ryzen Master and see if I can explain this a little bit. So here's Ryzen Master, and let me see if that's showing up good. Right. And you can change these values in the BIOS for PPT, TDC, EDC. You can read up on the internet what all of these do. You can't manually set these if you turn off PBO. Those just run auto. So if you have PBO enabled, you could come in here in Ryzen Master, run whatever load you want to run, games or programs or anything like that, and you can see which one of these hit the threshold that's bothering you first. And you don't have to change all of them. You could just change that one in the BIOS and you're all set. But I'm doing it even in a lazier way than that. So let me get and when I get into the BIOS, I'll switch to my phone and I'll go into BIOS and I'll show you the PPT, TDC, and EDC where you can change those values. So let me close Ryzen Master. Ryzen Master doesn't want to close right now. I'll worry about it later. So yeah, here's the summary. He's got precision boost override disabled and core performance boost disabled. And then later, he goes back into his game and he's like, look. He's like, look.
Okay,
my temperatures are not 75 degrees anymore. Now they say 52 degrees Celsius for his 5600X. But he's getting the same, around the same frames per second. That just tells me that his, what does he have here?
Closer look at the
3060
FPS.
Ti.
CPU.
His game is more dependent on the 3060 Ti than the CPU. That's what that tells me. And he doesn't have an important stat here. He's got Retuner statistics server showing right here. And he's going over the fact that his temperatures are lower, but he has an important value not being displayed here. The CPU clock's not being displayed. I don't know off the top of my head what the base clock is on a 5600X. I'm pretty sure it's close to my 5600. 3.5, 3.6 gigahertz. But this game's probably running with a core performance boost disabled. It's going to be running at 3.5 or 3.6, which is fine if it doesn't affect your game. But everything you do outside the game, where that boost in frequency would help you, he's not going to benefit from that. So I don't like the way he went about doing this. And his video's got a lot of likes. Let's see. This video's got a lot of likes, which is good, which is great because everybody's happy. It's like, yeah, man, this really helped me. This lowered my temperatures. But all these people are locking down their CPUs to the base clock. That's not good. So anyway, I'm gonna switch to my phone and I'm gonna go to the BIOS and I'll show you the way I handled it. Like I said, I don't care about top performances. As long as it's faster than what I had, I'll attenuate my system a little bit for total silence and running cool and quiet. That's what I like. So yeah, let me stop this. I'll switch to my phone. I'll go to the BIOS and I'll show you how I handled it as opposed to the way this guy handled it. I think my way is better, but my way is lazy. You can undervolt. There's all these different things you can do. Mine's the laziest, easiest way possible. So, all right, switch it to the phone. All right, switch to the phone. Now I'm in the BIOS. So I'm gonna do a bad job of holding the phone and navigating through the BIOS. Unfortunately, I could turn on resizable bar, but being I have a touring graphics card, it's not going to do anything. It doesn't support it, so it doesn't matter if you enable resizable bar for a 2060 Super. It doesn't do anything. On the RX 6600 that I have for my son, that should work just fine. But anyway, that's not what I'm in here for. I'm in here to talk about the what that guy turned off: Precision Boost Overdrive and the Core Boost, Core Performance Boost. So let's go looking around here. Let's go to, let me find out where everything is again. Advanced CPU configuration, AMD overclocking, Precision Boost Overdrive, set to advanced. If you have it advanced, you can, let me see, if you set your PBO limits to manual, you can change those values that I was talking about before. PPT, TDC, EDC. Man, this will not focus. I'm sorry that this is not focusing well. My phone's not great. Anyway, yeah. But you can't do any of this if you have PBO disabled. So, leave the PBO on auto. But as long as it's enabled, you can have all these options when it's enabled, or you can put it in eco mode. I tried eco mode. I tested it out. I just wanted to see. It wasn't hitting hard enough for me. So, but that's fun to try. I guess if you had a higher TDP CPU, you'd have maybe a 75 watt eco mode in addition to a 45 watt choice. But since this is only a 65 TDP part, I guess that's the only eco mode they offer for this. I don't know, and I never had to look at this kind of stuff for my Ryzen processor, because like I said, I had a Zen Plus 2600, and that CPU, it doesn't boost that high. The base clock's around 3.4, I think, and it boosts to 3.8, 3.9. It's supposed to boost 3.9, but it usually boosts to 3.8. And yeah, that's not a huge difference between base and boost, and the temperature didn't vary that much, and the fans never didn't have to spin up that much. But this CPU that I have now, the 5600, its base clock is 3.5, and it boosts all the way up to 4.4. Mine actually boosts 4.450 4450 in game, so it's going over the rated boost clock. That's almost 1,000 megahertz difference between the base and the boost clock. So that's going to allow more. That's a big difference for the CPU to speed up and have the more power being pulled, and your fan's going to be going up and down more, because that's a bigger difference between. I'm wording this so bad. You understand what I'm saying? It's a bigger difference between the base clock and the full boost clock. It's a much bigger difference than the older CPU that I had. So instead of I tried all these, and you can test all this stuff. It's up to you. You can undervote. You can do whatever you want. But I just found the easiest way is keep playing with this. The platform thermal throttle limit. You just set. These AMD BIOS, they let you have so much control, and this just makes it so easy. Is this the most efficient way to do it? I don't know. I don't have time to test everything, because this already meets my needs. So I have my fan curve set up, and they're pretty quiet at 50 Celsius. So I'm like, hey, if I set it to 50 Celsius, how much am I being how much performance am I losing by not letting it get above 50 Celsius? So I ran a game that I like to play, and it was still boosting up to when I was trying the eco mode, I wasn't hitting the super high boost clocks. But when I set the thermal throttle limit here at 50, and I tried other values too until I got one that I was happy with. When I set it to 50, I noticed my fan curve staying nice and quiet and low the way I want it. Nothing's going over 50 degrees, and my boost clocks are still hitting 4.4 gigahertz or 4400 megahertz, 4450 in a lot of cases. And the way the other guy did it, and like I said, I'm not trying to bash him, you know, I just feel like that's like an error how he's going about doing it. And it's not, this is not to bash him, maybe correct him, because I make videos where I talk about stuff that I like to do, and if I make a mistake or I word something incorrectly, like even if I'm doing something here wrong, tell me in the comments, say, hey, you got this wrong, because I want to know if I did anything wrong. I like to learn, right? I don't like to stay stupid, stay ignorant of things. But yeah, I don't know if that guy realizes that his CPU is not boosting to its boost values and staying at the stock speed all the time. So of course his temperature is going to be lower because it's never putting that CPU to work as it was intended to do. Now out of the box, when you have precision boost overdrive enabled, yeah, most people care about performance the most, so it leans towards that. It's gonna push out as much performance as you can. But then you have a rare case like me where I want quiet, and I'm willing to give up a little performance for quiet, lower temperatures, and just like an easier running computer. Because, like I said, I said it in another video, right? I don't know if I'm always going to be using the 1080, but right now I'm on 1080. I don't need this thing to go crazy. And if I'm hitting those boost clocks in the game, I'm going to be hitting those boost clocks when I'm rendering a video or doing something else that requires the CPU to get its frequency higher. So yeah, this is not to bash anybody who's helping other people. I just don't know if all those people realize that they might be all setting their CPU to run in stock. And the CPUs are very, very good, so it's hard to notice. But if you did a lot of benchmarking, I'm sure you'd see it between 3.5 gigs and 4.4 gigahertz. I'm sure you'd see a mighty difference in a benchmark or some kind of productive piece of software, productivity, right? Anyway, I'm just rambling, so that's the way I do it. I say leave precision boost overdrive on, so you have these options to control how your CPU acts temperature-wise, and also leave what's the other one called? See if I can remember where it is. Let me see. What was the one that he was turning off? Yeah, core performance boost. Don't disable this. See if I can. There we go. If you disable core performance boost, you will run at the base clock, and that nice boost speed that you saw on the box or on the web page, you're not getting that. Yes, your temperatures will be lower, but you're hurting your product too much doing it this way. So I'm gonna leave core performance boost enabled, so my cores boost up, and I'm going to leave precision boost overdrive enabled, so I can control, so I can utilize the thermal limit and not have to worry about whether it's, I don't have the air conditioner on and it's 100 degrees outside. My computer might run a little slower because it's trying to keep it at 50 degrees, but that's fine by me. You know, if you have a better cooler or it's like winter time, you probably get more out of your CPU before it hits 50 degrees. But anyway, that's the way I do it. Like I said, I'm not bashing anybody, or I'm sure a lot of people are thankful that guy's video helped them out and stuff. It's just, I'm not sure it's helping them out as much as they think it is, because it's doing a little harm if they're not privy to the fact that they're all turning their CPUs to run stock only. So that's all. Catch you in the next one. Everybody have a good weekend.